Okay, my name is Isak.
My name is Ampla.
And my name is Finnboy.
And this is our presentation on weather observations. We did weather observations in Reykjavik, which is the capital of Iceland, and is located by the sea. As you can see on this map, we have a map of Reykjavik, and the red circle marks where we did weather observation, and the blue circle marks the location of the weather station. Skipta. We got our fellow group members to do the same in Slovenia and Spain, and here is a map of Spain and where Pamplona is located at, and here is a map of Slovenia and where Ljubljana is located. Skipta. We received, among other things, measurements of temperatures and wind, and we put the information into two different graphs. The orange color represents Spain, and the white color represents Slovenia, and the blue color represents Iceland. The first graph shows the temperature measurements in all the countries, and the whole lines show our own measurements, while the broken lines show the weather station measurements. The second graph shows the wind measurements, and again the whole lines represent our measurements, but the broken lines represent the weather station measurements. As we can see from these graphs, the measurements from the weather station and the ones we made ourselves are quite similar, but several things can affect the difference in the measurements. For example, the sun can deceive the temperature thermometers, and the wind speed can decrease if you stand in a sheltered place. It can also be quite difficult to measure wind speed and your own without any instruments, so that it's not reliable. Yes, thank you, Finnboy.
Now if we focus on the difference between these three countries, there is an obvious difference in the temperature and some difference in the wind speed. Iceland has the lowest temperature, which is not unusual because Iceland is in the northern Europe, and the temperature at this time of the year is not high and is around 0 degrees. The temperature in Spain and Slovenia is higher because they are closer to the equator, and it varies from 15 to 20 Celsius most days. Other factors like altitude and the distance from sea can affect the weather. Reykjavik is located by the sea, so it gets pretty windy there, while Ljubljana is in the middle of Slovenia, so it does not get very windy there. Pamplona is 446 meters above sea level, so that may be the reason it gets chilly there. We also received information about precipitation, types of clouds, and wind directions. In Slovenia, the sky was clear most of the days, but when there were clouds, the most common ones were CS, SC, and CI. It was dry every day of the measurements, and the wind was usually coming from the north or east. In Spain, it was partly clouded or lightly clouded most days, and the most common clouds were CS, SC, and CU. It was dry every day, and the wind was usually coming from the south. In Iceland, the most common clouds were SC. It was raining one day, but other days it was dry and cloudy. Embla, Arthur.
Okay. Here are the 5 learning outcomes we made for students in primary school. So the first one is that students can do simple observation inside and outside, record events and observations with photographs, drawings, and explain them with their own words. And the second one was to use different sources of information gathering, books, the internet, or other sources. Number 3 was to listen to, evaluate, and discuss the ideas of others. And number 4, present and discuss the results of the observations in a clear and orderly manner. And the last one was to be able to read and write about concepts related to nature and science, and to be able to explain the impact of technology and science on people's lives. So this type of weather observation can be done by students, and it can help them to achieve these learning outcomes. To gather information about weather, both by going outside to see for themselves and by using the internet and look for information from the weather station, is an effective exercise and can also be very enjoyable. This is a good project to obtain information about nature and compare different results. Students can do observations together in a group, just like we did. And some may be in charge of temperature measurements, while others are in charge of wind speed measurements, and then work together on a presentation, which will give students an opportunity to evaluate and discuss different ideas. Students will also have to look at information online or in books, so we think that this project can be very enjoyable and helpful for students in primary schools. Yeah, that's it. We want to thank our fellow group members from Spain and Slovenia for helping us and doing these weather observations. So thank you for that. And yes, goodbye.